Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is called Why She Is Suing Magic City. Let's watch the video. This is part 6. Alright.
Story time. I think we're at like part 5 or 6, and we're getting into this lawsuit. And where I left off was telling you guys how they were, trying to discredit my name, and they wrote on Twitter on September 30th that I do not work there and I'm crazy as fuck, right? Which was to pretty much make my word mean nothing. That's called defamation of character and retaliation. Okay? So, from there, it pretty much just states the why they violated, those laws of retaliation and discrimination. So I'm at this part. It's part 107, which when you guys actually can get in the Pacer system and look at it, you guys will know what I'm talking about. But it says, prior to terminating my employment, the defendants never counseled, warned, suspended, or disciplined me in any other manner whatsoever. I never had a write-up. I never had been in trouble. I never had gotten called to the principal's office, is what you would say. I had never had any warnings. I had never had hey, a week, you're suspended. I have never had that. I've never been suspended, never got a warning, never got a write-up, never. I was never even on the fat list. And let me tell you guys something. At Magic City, they have a list that they have in their office, allegedly. But it's a list that they keep in the office. It's very degrading. And pretty much with that list, it embarrasses the girls, because what they'll do is if they feel like a girl is too overweight or a girl needs to lose a few pounds, they'll give them a certain amount of time to lose that weight before they fire them. And in return, what does that do? That causes girls who look perfectly fine. When I say perfectly fine, when I would look at that fat list, I would be like, are they fucking delusional? Literally making girls want to starve themselves. Literally making girls want to run out the country to have surgery a week after being put on the fat list because of the fact that, oh, they're going to fire me because of these 5 or 10 pounds. When I tell you, I'm not going to say her name. But it was this girl, right? She was brown skinned, beautiful, built like a stallion. Okay? Literally built like a stallion, body T. They put her on the fat list, and she literally ran out the country to have surgery the following week and ended up getting an infection and being in the hospital. I'm not going to say much more about that situation because I don't know what she's doing about it or if she even is. But she went, got the lipo, had to recover. But by the expiration of those 30 days, allegedly, that she was given to get that weight together, she went and had lipo, but also had complications after surgery because of the fat list. Who the fuck are you men to tell anybody that they're fat? And y'all, we're talking about girls that weigh 130 and they want them to weigh 120. We're not talking about girls that's 200 pushing 210. No. We're talking about beautiful, fit girls that they're just saying, oh no. The first thing that they would do, allegedly, if there was a girl who was, causing any issues or speaking out or saying anything, that was one of the first things they would do, is put them on that fat list and make it as if they're going to get fired because of their weight, when that was never the problem. And they have so many girls in there mentally draining themselves and thinking, oh, I got to lose weight, or I got to stay at this. I need it, when they look fine. I had a friend who was put on the fat list one time, and I literally told her, girl, you're fucking fine. Literally. Her trying to force herself to throw up. Her trying to force herself to not eat as much because these people told her that she was on the fat list. None of you girls are fat. They're just trying to hold a mental control over you to make you think you are. And a smarter person, somebody who's educated, who's mentally there, could see that from a mile away. But they know how girls are in clubs, and they know that a lot of girls who work in these clubs are insecure because their whole way of making money is by their look, their face, their body. So how do you break a girl mentally who's probably bad as fuck, makes great money, you tell her that she's fat. It's a motherfucking shame, y'all. It's a motherfucking shame. But anyways, the fat list. I'll be right back. So now let's get into a part that personally for me, I feel like it got worse after this, okay? In line 116, it says, defendant, Paradise Entertainment Group, Incorporated, their manager, sexually harassed and assaulted the plaintiff several times each month throughout the plaintiff's employment. Said manager groped the plaintiff on a weekly basis by forcibly grabbing her breasts and buttocks on a weekly basis. Manager would often make vulgar statements to the plaintiff such as, I want to eat you and fuck your throat. This particular harassment is reflected in a text message. And I will insert it if I need to. Plaintiff was subjected to acts of sexual harassment and assault on a regular and reoccurring basis to the extent that it was severe and pervasive and maternally affected the plaintiff's terms of employment and created a sexually hostile work environment. Let me tell y'all what happened. I had a manager, okay? And they were fascinated with me, okay? Every time I would walk in the office to clock in, they would walk up and instead of just giving me a hey girl hug, it would be a hug and grabbing the back of my ass, lifting me off the ground type of shit, okay? Literally, always saying sexual stuff to me. And for a minute in the beginning, I didn't say anything. You know, I'm at a new club. This is my manager. So I'm not going to say anything right immediately, right? But I got fed the fuck up. And one day I did say something, okay? And let me tell you how that worked out. It didn't. My money started being played with, okay? There would be times I'd be at the door at 11:20. They would tell me to call them. And that person would say, yeah, you're too late. I'd be like, what do you mean? It's 11:20. They'd be like, yeah, well, it's too many girls. Sorry. What? There was a time where this said manager texted my phone or messaged me on Instagram and said, not verbatim, I want to fuck you. I want to grab you by your ears and fuck you by your throat. I left that message on read. I never entertained it. I never replied. I never did anything. You know what their response was to the EEOC about that? They said that they were responding to a poll that was on my Instagram story. So you know what I did? I took a video of me creating a poll and I showed that if you were responding to a poll, it would only give you a certain amount of options to choose. This was a blank, direct message. This was not a poll. Caught that lie very fast through the EEOC. My lawyer submitted that video showing them this was not a poll. This was an unhinged message to this girl, sexually harassing her, okay? At that point, when I stopped being real cool with this manager and stopped letting them like, my thing is it's like, I don't care what it is. Sexual harassment is not okay. I don't care if I worked at a McDonald's. When you say hey to me, when you hug me, you don't grab my ass. You don't grab my, tatas and say, oh my God, these are so nice, girl. Like, you don't do anything like that because you hold a higher position. You are my manager. Period, point blank. And even for them to lie and say that that direct message was from a poll on my Instagram, knowing that I would be able to go back through, create a poll, and show them that this was not a poll, this was an unhinged message. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? You know? It was just crazy. But my thing is that for them to deny it is even worse. For them to reply and say that's the relationship we have with a lot of the girls, allegedly, is even worse. Hold on. So it says, as a result of the repeated sexual harassment and defendant Paradise Entertainment Group's refusal and failure to stop the sexual harassment, plaintiff has suffered emotional distress and is entitled to compensation in an amount to be determined in the enlightened conscience of the jury. It's pretty much saying that I'm entitled to be paid for what happened to me and a jury will decide. plaintiff filed a charge of discrimination with the EEOC within 180 days of the last sexual harassment act. The EEOC charge was assigned charge number, and it says the charge number. And then I received notice of the right to sue on 8/13/2024.
As people that work at the club don't sound very smart, because you got your ducks in a row. You got all your evidence to back you, and they don't got nothing. They just not work with the right brain. But what do y'all think about this video? You know what to do. Comment below. This is Life with Shauna Renee. Part 6 is on the way. I think it's part 7 is on the way. Bye.